Subscribe and hit the bell icon to never miss another update from India Forums.
Honestly, I've never really been a part of any Bollywood masala film, and this is really like my first. After shoot, he used to be like, anybody who's free can join us for a workout, and we all used to work out together. So imagine thand pad rahi hai. It's literally like -2, -3 degrees outside, or -10 sometimes, and we are in the corridor of our hotel, and everybody's doing push-ups. 9 or -10 degrees. I'm wearing like this hijab and everything, like a bulletproof jacket, and I have to punch and everything. I was so, मेरी टांगे नहीं उठ रही थी. It was really crazy. And I don't have the ability to, suck up to people or be in part of groups and stuff. So I wasn't really in that space. So no work came to me. Actually, this debate about this outsider insider has started happening now, and now it's starting to now I'm starting to question myself. I'm like, yeah, why don't they call? When I was supposed to do that film, at the same time, I got a call for more shots in place, and I remember telling her that I'm sorry, but my dates have been taken for the month that you're shooting. I mean, my film, I wasn't informed, I wasn't told anything, and then suddenly I found out from someone that somebody else is doing that part, and I was just like, how do you do these things? I mean, hearing about so many actors, giving up their lives or moving out from acting and doing other things, and I'm just like, that's because there is not a way of treating people correctly, because they just don't know how to make this space professional. That's how I have stopped making friends. I'm just like, okay, I'll come, I'll work, I'll do my job, and I'll leave, because that's how a professional works, even in office. आप दुनिया में काम करने आते हैं, एंड दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, और आप शिद्दत से अगर आप काम करें तो आपको अगला काम मिलने पर आपको कोई नहीं रोक सकता है.
Hello guys, this is Kajal Gupta yet again, and today I have with me the supremely talented Ahana with me, who is gearing up for her recent release, Khuda Hafiz, that is slated to premiere on 14 August. So hi Ahana, welcome to India Forum.
Hi Kajal, thank you so much. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Safe and sane.
Yeah. So we saw the trailer, and I really like it, and that's something I want to tell you is that it's been long. We've seen a trailer that is a complete package of action and thriller and drama. Like, there's everything in Khuda Hafiz. And I also saw the look that was released a few days ago. So tell us something about your character from the movie.
So yes, of course. I mean, as you mentioned, it really is a complete package, and Farooq really, I think he's been holding on to the script for a while, and I think finally it got made with the right producers, and I think it's kind of turned out like the way Farooq, I think, imagined it, and I also think he knows these characters really well, because these are loosely based on real, it's a real story. So it's interesting how how you can sometimes translate real characters on screen, and I think it's been done quite well in the film. When I also saw the trailer, I was quite I was very kicked, because I after such a long time I saw action, and I saw a love story, and I saw everything. And honestly, I've never really been a part of any Bollywood masala film, and this is really my first. So I think I'm really kicked about it, and I'm very excited, because it's a very different genre from whatever I've done so far.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, we shot in Uzbekistan, which is also another really beautiful country, and I think the location added so much more character. It became one of the characters of the film, and I think everything kind of really came together.
Yeah.
It was really difficult to make this film, because I know the kind of conditions that we have shot in, whether it was shooting in really cold weather in the middle of a desert when there was really nothing to cover yourself, and there was a huge language barrier when we were shooting in Uzbekistan, because nobody speaks English or Hindi. They only speak Russian and Uzbeki. So I know with what difficulties this film has been made. And I think it's going to be quite a package. Yeah, it's going to be quite an entertainer.
Yeah. In the trailer, of course, we've seen Vidyut do what he does best. I mean, I'm sure Khuda Hafiz is high on action sequences. So did you also have the opportunity to play any action sequences in the movie?
I did. In fact, I'm playing. My character's name is Tamina Hamid, and it was my look got revealed yesterday,
Yeah.
and I was very excited because I was waiting for so long. I was like, please reveal my look, please reveal my look, and I was really excited about it. And I think they did it quite nicely yesterday. And I'm playing an action heroine with wearing a hijab, which I think is
Yeah.
really powerful. And when I was told that I have to wear a hijab and speak Arabic in the film, I was just like, I'm not sure if I can do either because, of course, speaking Arabic is not very easy
Yeah.
because it's not a regular language. It's not a language that you hear every day. It has very different voices, very different intonations. So I was very skeptical. I was very scared, rather. And I'm grateful to Apurva, my casting director, for casting me for this part, and Farooq for really
Yeah.
holding my hand through the shoot because I had to also speak Hindi in an Arabic tone. So Farooq would talk to us, both Shiv and me, and the other actors who were speaking Arabic. He would talk to us in that tone. So it became like the minute he spoke to us, it became so normal for us to respond to him in a similar way. So I think those workshops or those readings are very integral. I had an action. I had a dialect coach coming in. His name's Noman. He's from the University of Mumbai. He speaks Arabic. Like he's an Arabic. So he used to come to my casting happened very last minute. Literally happened like 1 week before we left for Uzbekistan, and I literally had to do my entire script का Arabic का जो pronunciation या learning थी मुझे वो literally एक हफ्ते में खत्म करनी पड़ी. Then I obviously had voice notes. They were really well prepared. What I really liked about the direction team also was that they were all so well prepared. Everybody had voice notes. So every time like I had to speak something, I had to constantly go through my voice notes. I had to constantly repeat my lines again and again and again and do as many rehearsals as I could before a take, because for us honestly doing too many takes was not possible because we had limited location, we had too much cast, too much crew. It was so I had to be prepared basically from my end at all times. So I'm glad that that I did that training and everything before that. Coming to
Right.
action, yes, I'm doing a lot of action in the film for the first time. I was again very apprehensive about doing action because I've never really done anything. I'm a very fit person. I exercise, I run, I do a lot of other physical training, but I have never really been part of a space where action choreography is required. So my action director, his name's Andy Long. He's a very young Vietnamese guy. He's literally 30 or 31, and he's somebody who works with the videos a lot. And he was so lovely. He and his entire crew, because the minute they came in, how like it was first of all really great young energy on set. So after shoot, he used to be like, anybody who's free can join us for a workout. And we all used to work out together. So imagine thand pad rahi hai. It's literally like -2, -3 degrees outside or -10 sometimes. And we are in the corridor of our hotel and everybody's doing push-ups and everybody's doing some or the other exercise. And it was very beautifully, he broke the ice between amongst the crew members. I think it wasn't only actors, it was all crew members were invited, like whoever wanted to join. And everybody became pals. Like, so all of us became like, how like you have gym buddies? We had like all these workout pals, so all of us used to hang together and it was really nice. And then, of course, I went through choreography, which I didn't know. In action, there is choreography like dance.
Yeah.
So they teach you each and every push, they teach you every pull, they teach you every punch. They teach you they basically first test how good you are with your body. So they see like for a day or two whether you can carry on the choreography, and then they kind of plan the choreography according to who you are and how much can you deliver. And I think that was really interesting. So on the day of the shoot, I remember it was literally like -9 or -10 degrees, and we were shooting in this location, and I'm wearing like this hijab and everything, like a bulletproof jacket, and I have to punch and everything. I was so, मेरी टांगे नहीं उठ रही थी. It was really crazy, but I think it went really well. But I think for me, this is the first time I saw an action director take the camera in his hand and shoot the entire action himself. So he shot the action, he edited the action sequence, and then he kind of delivered it to Farooq, and Farooq has kind of put it in the film however he wants to use it. But this is the first time I actually saw the process of action sequences unfolding in front of my eyes, and I was like, oh, is this how you do it? So I think through my work, it's great that I'm grateful to Farooq that he thought of me and thought of casting me for this part and gave me the opportunity to learn and understand this world which I was completely unaware of.
Yeah, yeah. So, like you said, Khuda Hafiz has been a first for you in a lot of matters. Like, say it is a commercial film or it's like action. It has been a first for a lot of matters. But what's interesting is that looking at your previous line of work, you've always done very strong woman-centric characters in your past work as well. Be it Lipstick Under My Burqa or Betal or like Marzi. So, do you consciously choose these projects or they come to you? What is that like?
I don't know. I think they come to me because I don't really go choosing work. We don't have too many choices because obviously we don't, in the sense like we have to work a lot before we are given a choice. And for women, I still feel it's far and few choices. Like it isn't so much compared to what the men get. Even like my contemporaries, they I think get a lot more choices than I do. So I have to make do with whatever choice, whatever work I'm getting. I have to do the best of my ability in that space, and I have to make a mark there. Only because that's going to lead me to my next job. But yes, having said that, of course, I'll say I've been truly lucky because I don't think like yesterday. I think Filmfare Middle East kind of did an article on my different looks, and when I was going through that article, I actually kind of thought, I was like, yeah, there are very few actors who really get chances to do transformations. Like I completely transformed in Lipstick Under My Burqa. Of course, I looked like a regular person, but I was a beautician there. But of course, from that, it led to a transformation to Priyanka Gandhi's character in Accidental Prime Minister, or I had to transform myself for Betal and I had to do prosthetics. And now for Khuda Hafiz, I'm doing a hijab clad officer. So I think it's such an interesting graph that I think you say Kismat. It really, like, my luck has literally led me into playing these parts and being able to experiment with so many different characters and to be able to be that person. Trust me, when I wore the hijab, I felt like such a different person. And then when I wore the hijab with the suit and everything, I just felt like I really didn't feel Indian at all. And it was funny because when I was on set, there were so many people who would just pass by and they'd be like, oh, you look Uzbeki. Oh, you look Uzbeki. And I was like, really? And it was really like interesting to see that kind of transformation. So I'm glad that work comes to me, but that also comes from the fact that work chooses to come to me. And I have to make do the best of my ability in whatever work that's coming to me.
Yeah. So, you had a stellar work line in the past, but if we go back in the beginning, what was the process for you when you started out? Because you started out from television and then you came into Bollywood. Lipstick Under My Burqa was definitely a breakthrough. So what was that time like, when you were you auditioning? What was the acceptability from the industry?
Actually, I've always been this has been a dilemma question, honestly. I started as an assistant casting director to Shanu Sharma. I cast My Name Is Khan, and then after that I went to do theatre, and I did theatre for almost 10 glorious years, and I kept doing theatre, kept doing stage. I still do it. I've not given up on doing stage. In fact, during lockdown also we've done a play. So I don't think I'll ever be able to take stage away from my life. So I'm very glad and grateful to theatre for all my learnings. And I don't know, a lot of people know this, but I have assisted on films as an AD.
Yeah.
Have worked as an assistant production person. So I have worked in the field of films and television and ads a lot behind the scenes before I actually forayed on screen. So, it wasn't, that's your cat.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
That's cute. And my cat has been locked out, so he can't walk all over me.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was really I was saying that that I have been grateful to these learnings that led to my first show Yudh, and that was when Anurag, I think, had seen me on stage, and that's why I got cast as Mr. Bachchan's daughter. And I honestly, like, after Yudha, I thought, like, oh, this is it, ho gaya mera break, mera debut ho gaya, Bachchan Saab ke saath debut kar liya. And that's when it really hit me that, it's never surety, because the show didn't work, and the show didn't really do as well as I thought it would do, and it didn't really lead me to my next job, but I got lipstick immediately after that. And again, I didn't really put too much thoughts to it. When I got lipstick, I was like, okay, here's a great part, I'll do it to the best of my ability. And then, of course, agar release hoti hai, it's great. If it doesn't, then, I'll take it as an experience. And so I did lipstick, and then it kind of like, lipstick didn't come out for 2 years. I had nothing happening. Nobody was offering any work. I also feel like it's somewhere my mistake, because I don't really make a proactive effort to go and meet producers. But I always feel like some people just don't have that kind of ability, and maybe I'm one of them, and I don't have the ability to, suck up to people, or like, be in part of groups and stuff. So I wasn't really in that space. So no work came to me. But thankfully, like, whatever work I have done, or anybody who's seen me on stage or has worked with me, has always had a recall value and called me back. So I got a call for this TV show called Agent Raghav. And I did Agent Raghav for that's my first time I did proper television. And I did that for about 9 months, after which I hosted Pro Kabaddi. I did sports anchoring. So I don't think I've really thought anything through about my career. Whatever work has come to me, I have done it. And eventually it has led me to my next job. So it's never really, actually, this debate about this outsider insider has started happening now. And now it's starting to like, now I'm starting to question myself. I'm like, yeah, why don't they like call, So I really didn't think all this through, because I didn't feel the need to think it through, because I was getting work, and I was getting good work, and it was also paying my bills, and keeping me sane. And today, because of all the work that I've done, I've got a good network of friends, and I'm fine with that.
But like you said, like, this entire debate has happened recently. Like, this whole debate, nepotism, inside out, is happening right now. And so many actors have now come forward and spoken about it. There have been many actors, and Veer Shore, everybody has come out and spoken how they were either replaced or like, dropped from movies at the last minute. All these experiences. Have you had any such experiences in your career?
Yes, I've had. Actually, I don't even know. I have been dropped out of a film out of the blue. I was confirmed for a film, and then I didn't even hear back from the producers. And the producers called me to their office and gave me like this lamba chauda narration. And, like, the director sat and narrated the entire script to me. And this is the first time like a director was narrating a script. And I was like, aren't you supposed to just like give me the script and I can just go through it myself, because I can. But I realized that that's very different. That's a different work ethic, and that's a different workspace altogether. So you'll find all kinds of directors, and there's all kinds of people that you will work with. So I was still opening up to the idea of working with different types of directors. So of course, I went through an entire narration, and I went through this whole thing, acha itna paisa and this, that, and so many days and this, that. And immediately, I haven't really told a lot of people about this, but it's kind of funny, because when I was supposed to do that film, at the same time, I got a call for more shots. And Rangita had called me like late at night, and she was like, "Would you like to be a part of the show? Because we need one. There are 4 actresses. We need one more actor. We don't have one actor in place." And I remember telling her that, "I'm sorry, but my dates have been taken for the month that you're shooting, and I would suggest so and so actor. Why don't you call her? She's fab, and please call her up. I'm sure she'll be, interested in this part, or at least, have a chat with you." And I'm glad that it's worked out for that actor. And my film, like, I wasn't informed. I wasn't told anything. And then suddenly I found out from someone that somebody else is doing that part. And I was just like, how do you do these things? I mean, it's okay. You don't want to cast me, and it's fine. I mean, I'm not going to hold that against you. It's a professional call. Please, by all means, do it. But I feel it's unfair to block somebody's dates, waste their time, and make them lose another job because of your inability or your indecisiveness. I think that's what really irritates me about this industry. And that's where I feel that a lot of people don't behave professionally. I mean, this is a profession. Let's all talk in professional language and put things on paper and not be frivolous about anybody's career, lives, or jobs, because sometimes people really pin hopes, and
Yeah.
I'm still one of the strong ones who will just be like, okay, but I know a lot of people who can't take it. And that's why, suddenly like I'm hearing about so many actors, giving up their lives or, moving out from acting and doing other things. And I'm just like, that's because there is not a way of treating people correctly because they just don't know how to make this space professional. That's why I have stopped making friends. I'm just like, okay, I'll come, I'll work, I'll do my job, and I'll leave, because that's how a professional works, even in office. You come, you do your job. Of course, in our line of work, like you have to make friends. You have to, like, because you spend that much time with your actors or your directors or producers at that point of time. But I still feel that there is a work ethic which needs to put into place, and people need to really like pay attention to that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that is so rightly said, Ahana, because I've spoken to so many people during these interviews, and so many actors have had to come forward and spoken about that, the mistreatment they receive in the industry or what goes wrong. And like you said, you stopped making friends maybe because you don't want to become a part of groups. But do you think for an actor, especially an actor, if that person consciously wants to become a part of a group and they are not welcomed, is that a pressure also?
I don't know. I've never really bothered about these things. I was part of quite a lot of groups, and I decided one day that I just didn't want to, because I wanted to come home and just sleep and not party after work hours, because it was going to affect my work the next day. And if something's going to affect the work that I do, then I don't want to be in that space, because I always believe, even in theater, like this is what I've been taught through all my work. आप दुनिया में काम करने आते हैं, एंड दिस इज व्हाट यू नीड टू डू, और आप शिद्दत से अगर आप काम करें तो आपको अगला काम मिलने पर आपको कोई नहीं रोक सकता है. So I feel that's something that I really truly live by, and I like, when I see, these are decisions that I made for my life, and I'm sure there are lots of people who are absolutely okay being part of groups and being part of circles, and it's fine, it's really their choice. But there are so many times when I go to film parties and I feel very lost. Like I go like, oh God, like I don't know anyone. I really start getting anxious because I want to be around familiar people, and those people are not familiar. Or even if they are, it's very like hi, hello, and whatever. So and I don't blame them, because those are people who've grown up together. They all know each other. There's a different camaraderie there. But I really feel like an outsider. I feel like I don't know these people, and I'm trying so hard to blend in and mix. And I realized that I didn't need to do that, so I stopped.
Yeah, I think that's wonderful. Like, it's just simply wonderful. Also, Ahana, like you said, because you've been strong enough in your mind to handle such thoughts, but we have seen actors losing their lives because of maybe pressure. Is it stress, professional stress? We don't know. So, as an actor, how do you keep yourself sane? Because I'm sure you have dull days as an actor as well.
I think, honestly, Kajal, this lockdown has been, I think, truly a blessing in disguise. I know it's not been easy for anyone, neither of us, but I feel that it really has been a blessing in disguise, because I realized that I really don't need too many people apart from my college friends who I chat with, like, all the time on Zoom, or, my school friends who are constantly like chatting with me on like WhatsApp, whether asking me about, or even sending me recipes, or, telling me what their children have done, and, how quickly their kids are growing, or what their husbands are doing. And it's okay, and honestly, I feel that my parents live with me. I mean, I live with my parents. So there was a time when I was just like, constantly like, hey, I'm going to move out of the house and I'm going to live independently, and ye ho gaya, falana, dimkara. I was like, all like, मैं literally घोड़े पे सवार होकर I went to my parents and I told them that, no, I want to live alone and by myself. And my dad was like, yeah, sure, live, then you have to deal with my problems, and then this problem and that problem. And I was like, okay, you know what, forget it, I'll just stay with you guys. So I think this lockdown has really made me grateful that I have family and I have family support, because I've seen so many people who, are losing their mind, is because they don't really have anyone to reach out to, and they think that those people are your friends, but you forget the fine line that ये आपके साथ ये लोग काम करते हैं, ये आपके दोस्त नहीं हो सकते हैं. Friends are those who you've really grown up with. Friends and family are those who know you for a very long time. You may not keep in touch, but they really are your friends because those people, uh, check on you, they keep in touch with you. That's what friendship is. Family is something that will not turn its back towards you. Even if you're in the worst situation, your parents will never give up on you. Your siblings will never give up on you. So I feel that if you have a good support, and if you stop believing that the world outside wants to do good for you, and just truly believe that your parents, your family, and your friends are the ones who really be standing by your side. If you have these thoughts clear in your head, there is no then trust me, then there is no confusion. And this clarity needs to come in at some point of time in your life, because we all get lost at some point of time. So ये reality check बहुत जरूरी होता है.
Yeah. I think now that you've said it, it's a good message for everybody who's going to be listening to this interview. It's going to be a good message. And Ahana, as we conclude this interview, I also have to ask you, Khuda Hafiz premieres on Disney Plus Hotstar. And last month there was a press conference where the platform announced 8 big titles that are going to release. But only 6 out of those 8 titles, the 6 teams were present to talk about their movies, release their posters. I was present at that press conference as well. But Loot Case and Khuda Hafiz, none of these teams were present during that press conference, and Vidya also tweeted about it. So what do you feel about that?
Well, I feel that it's a lesson learned for the platform, of course, because everybody trolled them and they were trolled heavily. And you do realize that we are living in times when people are sitting in their houses holding onto their devices, ready to say something horrible to each other. People are not, they are speaking about, let's be kind and all, but are they really being kind to each other? I doubt it. So one needs to be very careful about how you present yourself or how you put your next foot forward. Of course, you have a lineup of great films, and those actors are fantastic, and those are people I've looked up to. Those people are the ones whose films we've all watched, we've loved them. But inclusivity for me is the most important thing. You have to include everyone. And really, I've worked with platforms. I've worked with almost all platforms, barring a few. And this is the first time I've also worked with Hotstar. And I don't think I've really left any platform. And every time I've worked with platforms, I've always seen there's a lot of inclusivity. They really include you in everything that they do. At least from the ones that I have worked with, I've seen that. So I feel that this is definitely a lesson. And I'm sure they've also learned from their mistake, because I think, these are problems, I would say teething problems, but they should have really thought this through, because there was so much happening just before that, and this came at a very crucial time. And you really need to the people who are working there need to really think these things through. So you can't really take decisions at random, and you can't make others feel that they are not worth it or nobody's, because honestly everybody's struggling in their line of work. Everybody's struggling, even if you're a star or if you're a non-star. Stars to maintain their stardom, people who are coming up to climb up the stairs, it's quite a struggle for everyone. So it's not easy for each one of us. So I think decisions have to really be to be made calmly, and of course they have to think their decisions through.
Yeah. So nonetheless, Ahana, I mean, more power to you for speaking out things that matter, for talking about things that matter. And that we'll just look forward to watch you on a screen in Khuda Hafiz and more, because I'm sure there's a great lineup ahead for you. Yeah. So we'll talk to you in the future as well. But all the very best for Khuda Hafiz,
and
Thank all our good
wishes.
Thank you for joining us.
Say hi to your kitty. Sorry, say bye to your kitty.
Yes, I will. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.
Hey guys, check out our revamped website at www.indiaforums.com to get your daily dose of entertainment.